Coach Mike Minnick of the Coastal Georgia Mariners and Bryce Peacock. Coach, how are you guys doing today?
We're doing real good. Thanks for having us.
So, Coach, we can get you started here. First of all, go ahead and tell us a bit about Bryce here and how much has she meant to the program over the past couple of years.
Okay. Yeah, we were very excited when Bryce committed to us a few years ago. We knew she was going to be a special talent, special young lady, 4.0 student, very driven, outworks first one there, last one to leave. So sets a great example. And just since she's been here, and we've been very successful. And when you have players like her, and we had a lot of other good players, but they were able to see how she works and see what it takes to be that good. And 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 she has to work harder than most because she's a pitcher and a hitter. And to me, that's amazing that she's able to be that good at both when usually good hitters spend all day hitting or good pitchers spend about all their time pitching. So she has to divide it up, and she's still, very does them both very well.
Yeah, that's something we noticed here last year. Just the two-way talents with Bryce and others across the country. It kind of speaks to the dedication, kind of like you mentioned. And Bryce too, like you've set the bar high in your career at Coastal Georgia, and you're coming off a stellar 2023 and Conference Player of the Year, first team All American, NAI and NFCA. How have you been able to handle all the success and become a leader now in what's going to be your senior season here in 2024?
Yeah, I look forward to getting my senior season started. I would just say a lot of it was just not putting a lot of pressure on myself and just letting my team help me in every game and every situation. And I think the big thing is always work hard, and you just have to understand that you can't do everything by yourself, and just allowing my team to help me and push me in the way that I know that they were doing it in a good way has really helped me become the player that I am today.
Yeah, it's with a younger squad too. I mean, not you guys, but just in total in the NAI. I mean, you have kind of your sprinkle of veterans and younger talent too as well. And that really is kind of one of the biggest things that we see in successful programs is just the veteran leadership and being able to pass that down from year to year. And it kind of gets into my next question here for you, Coach. I mean, you're coming into your 11th season now at Coastal Georgia as the head coach. How have you been able to kind of instill your culture and continue your success from year to year now?
Well, the first couple of years, it wasn't like I really wanted, and then we kept working on it. But mainly, we go out and just try to find kids that know what they want to do, know they want to be, college softball players, know they want to come in and compete just as hard in the classroom as they do on the field. I mean, all our players graduate, on time. We have a very high GPA, and it's just nice to get those kind of kids in here. And then, like this year, I have a lot of freshmen, and I think the upperclassmen have done a great job of explaining to them and showing them and helping them on the way why we've been successful and what it takes to be that. So that's been the main thing, is getting some good ones in a few years ago, and then it's just been a trickle down effect where they understand that oh, that's how you make straight A's or real high GPA. I mean, they just follow the lead, and it's a culture where they all seem to do what they're supposed to be doing whenever they're supposed to be doing it, and it's been great.
Yeah, it's kind of a cliche thing, if you will, that you hear all the time in sports is like you mentioned culture too, but it really does make an impact and make a difference because we're obviously athletes at heart, but the student side does come first. And Bryce, unfortunately, in 2022, obviously we all know the story. I mean, you had your season cut short due to injury, which is obviously a tough thing for any athlete to go through. And obviously you came back, like we mentioned earlier, with an incredible 2023. During that kind of rehab process, how did that kind of test you mentally, and ultimately, how has that made you a better player that you are today?
Yeah, so we were all very upset. We thought that it was going to be just something that I could recover from, and unfortunately, that did not happen. But my team just really stuck with me. through the whole thing, and just being able to be alongside them even whenever I was coming back from my surgery and just rehab and everything. They just pushed me and they gave me the time to um basically move at my own pace and not put too much pressure where pressure was needed at times. And they just really helped mold me and bring me back. And so I feel like that's probably why I had such a great season, was because just the team environment and the culture, like we've talked about, and just the team altogether had really just pushed me and also helped me come back and wanted to see me succeed. So that really helped motivate me in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, as a former athlete myself, like we said, I mean, that's is one of the toughest things to go through. Thankfully, I never had to experience that, but obviously, I've had teammates that have dealt with that. You know, labrum surgeries, knee surgeries, this, that, and the other, and it kind of does speak to the previous question I had. Was like the culture aspect and kind of the next man up mentality, if you will. And it really was cool to see not only you bounce back, but your teammates kind of surround you and that success that you had previous. And my final question for you, Coach, like we're going to mention too, and you guys are in a tough Sun conference. I mean, not only Bryce returning is going to be a huge contributor, but what are some other names that we can look out for the squad here in 2024, and any newcomers or returners, if anything at all?
Well, besides Bryce, the other three seniors are all should have really good years. Sarah Thinger, Roy Rhodes, Elizabeth McGovern, all four of them will have great years. As far as newcomers, it's all freshmen. I mean, we don't have any transfers. And there's so many of them. We brought in 8 freshmen this year. It's really hard to name any names. There's most of them are going to play a major part early in our season, and it's really too hard to. I mean, it's too early to say which ones are going to step up. But we've been very impressed with what they've done so far, and we're very excited for the future with them.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's kind of something we'll touch on really with every coach here on Media Day. I mean, like you guys know, I mean, the Sun Conference is one of the tougher conferences in the country, obviously, with teams like you guys and Southeastern and St. Thomas even on the up and coming, and then Weber having some recent success too as well. It's going to be really interesting to see just how the conference plays out. Obviously, you guys are going to be a strong favorite with people like Bryce returning. And here in about a month, we're really excited for it, and we're ready to see the Mariners continue their success in 2024. Coach and Bryce, really appreciate you guys coming on. Best of luck to you guys this coming year, and yeah, thank you for joining us.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and go Sun Conference.